Well, hello my friends, it's Shawn Petite and welcome back to this YouTube hop. We're gonna have some fun. So we're doing one stencil 12 ways, and here is my project with the fall leaves stencil. Here are the supplies that we'll be using today. And so we've got about 12 past creative team members that I tried to pull in as many as I could, reach and everything, of past creative team members, just to kind of reconnect and have some fun. And we've taken one stencil and created with it, and so I thought it's a fun way to see how you can use at least a single stencil in so many different fun ways, and you're just gonna love it. So let's dive into the project. I'm starting today's project in my journal, my handmade journal, and I've just grabbed some vintage papers and things that I had laying around, and I'm getting those put down in the background with some gel medium, matte gel medium, and I'm just kind of randomly putting them down. I don't have a real plan as to what I'm going to be doing. I just know that I'm going to be using the fall leaves stencil, which all of the past creative team members are going to be using, and I'm going to have a list down below in the YouTube description box of all the team members that are participating, and I'll have a link to the next YouTube YouTube hop. So you hop on over to the next one and you just continue to follow that around so that you get to see all of the videos. So now that I've got all of my papers down with my matte gel, I've got some Nova Color they call it texture paste. It's like modeling paste. I really love this texture paste. It's bright white. It dries bright white, and I love that. I'm always looking for that. It's got good texture. It's not too heavy, and it dries fairly fast, and I love that. So now that I've got my texture down, I'm using my shadow tree stencil to get a branch going here, and I created this stencil for this specific reason, to be able to put the branches together and create whatever style you want. And it doesn't have leaves on it, so it can be kind of fallish or scary, or you can add leaves and make it spring and all those kinds of things. So anyway, this is the shadow tree stencil, and I'm just kind of stenciling out. I'm using raw umber. I'm using Lucas Krill paints. Lucas acrylic paints, and from I think most of the project except for the acrylic inks that are Liquitex. And just kind of getting my stencil out here. Now I've got my fall leaves, and I'm using 3 colors in my leaves. I'm using red oxide, yellow oxide, and olive green. And just trying to get some variation in the stenciling as I stencil my leaves out, so that they're not just flat and all one color. And I'm just using a variety of the leaves on the branches, just trying to find the ones that feel right and fit right. And I'm just going to stencil those out. So all of the supplies that I'll be using, the link to that will be down below in the YouTube description box. I'll also have a blog post with all of the supplies and all of the past creative team members that are involved in their projects, pictures of their projects and all that kind of stuff on my blog post, so that you can see everything in one spot and then follow along from there as well. The other thing is that I'm doing a giveaway of a stencil of your choice, and there are going to be 12 winners. So at every stop, if you leave a comment, we're going to choose one comment from each of the past creative team members' YouTube channels. We'll choose one comment and a winner. That will be the winner. So there'll be 12 winners of a free stencil. So you have 12 chances to win. So I hope that encourages you to check out all of the videos. So I've got my leaves down, and now I've got my blackbird stencil, and I'm just going to stencil that in with just some carbon black paint. And all of the creative team projects, oh my goodness, they're so amazing. I love them all. So fun. And it was good to reconnect with some of the past creative team members. It was, you know, we were together for a year, and it just felt good to kind of reconnect, especially during this time. So now that I've got my blackbird painted in, I am coming back in and I'm just kind of adding to my stems to kind of darken in any areas that were light or kind of make them feel attached to the leaves, and then to add just a few extra little branches here and there to kind of extend out the branch itself. It's always hard to know exactly what you're wanting when you don't have leaves and things like on your branches, so that's why I've added some additional branches. I've got some Liquitex acrylic ink, and this is actually, that purple there is called Muted Gray. It is gorgeous. And then I've got a deep violet that I'm adding to it. Look at those colors. Aren't those perfect fall colors? And I love using Liquitex acrylic inks because they dry so transparent that you can kind of layer and layer and layer, and it's so wonderful. So I'm just going back in after I kind of put my inks down and added some water to it. I'm just picking it up with a paper towel to kind of lighten some of the areas and make sure that I don't cover up too much. And I'm going to come back in with some, I'm actually going to add a little bit more because I was like, oh, I think I want to bring some of that in. And I knew that I could add it and add some water to it and pick it up right away and still get some color without covering up the design. So beautiful. I love those colors, those two colors together. Muted, transparent muted gray and deep violet. So now I'm just going to kind of tidy up my bird and fill in any gaps, maybe kind of accentuate the wing a little bit and some feathers. And to kind of, the bird looks a little bit like it's floating in midair. The feet don't actually get all the way on the branches, and so I was trying to fix it here. And as I was fixing it, I'm like, this does not look good. And so I just grabbed the leaf stencil and just stenciled over the area that wasn't quite perfect, and voila, it's fixed. I love that. A little bit of transparent raw umber, just to kind of, you know, give it a little more grunge, of course. Gotta have some grungy goodness. And I'll just come back in and kind of pick up the areas that I want to be super light. And even though this project is super simple, it's gorgeous. It's the simplicity of it, I think, is what makes it so awesome, because I didn't cover up the layers in the background, which I typically do. I left them kind of raw, and I love that. And I did that because I wanted the focal images to really stand out, the leaves and the bird and that kind of thing. So I didn't want it to get too busy. So I printed out these words on my computer and cut them out and just put them down with some matte gel. And now I'm going to begin the shading process, which I will shade everything. I will go around every single leaf, and I will draw in some sketchy veins on my leaves and that kind of thing. And I'll add some shadow and some depth in kind of the corners and kind of where the branches intersect, just to give it, again, some depth and to really kind of make it stand out and come away from the page. But I thought, one, because we're in fall and because we're in such a weird time right now, that I thought season of change is perfect. I think we're all ready for a change of season. And sometimes it feels like it can't come fast enough. So I'm just going to continue to shade around all of the things and really add that depth. And that's about it. I'm going to shade around the edge of my page itself. So I do encourage you to check out all of the videos on our One Stencil 12 Ways YouTube hop, and see and say hi to all of the past creative team members. I know they would love to hear from all of you. And comment on their videos so that we can choose a winner for a stencil of your choice. So I'll be giving away 12 stencils. And I just thought this was a fun way to just kind of come together, be joyful together, create together, and just stay connected. And so I hope you will join us on the journey. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoyed the project. And I will see you on Sunday.